Hey, this is David BreezeFlippers. It's the end of the week, and wasn't a bad week. Had some pretty good sales over the week, but today we've had 8 sales going out. So we'll show what sold, a few bread and butter things that have always kind of kept us going, and we'll talk about that. And then I want to talk a little bit about finding your passion, because reselling can be it can be a tough business, especially part-time. If you're working a full-time job and you're trying to do this part-time, it is well, I want to say it's a demanding mistress, that's for sure. It's one of those things that you love to do, but sometimes it's easy to hit burnout, and you have to find something that you're passionate about, that you like to do, to really make this business more exciting for you. So let's get into it.
Flip it, ship it, wear BreezeFlippers. Keep it moving. Find it, flip it, ship it, repeat. BreezeFlippers,
Well, like I was saying, you got to find your passion. And I was thinking about this a lot the past couple days. A couple of years ago, I was at the brink of making a decision whether I wanted to keep doing this, or whether I wanted to do something else, or just drop everything altogether. Because the idea of sleeping in on a Saturday morning sounds really good. The idea of going to bed at normal time, 10 o'clock, sounded really good. With all the work and extra things that are going on, it was kind of hard to find that balance, especially being part-time as a reseller. So I had to do some really hard thinking about what I really wanted out of this business. But it was something that actually made a turning point in my business that kind of gave me some hope and excitement. And honestly, it sounds so weird, but it was when I kind of started concentrating on comic books. I just really enjoyed comic books, and 2 years ago, is probably a little over 2 years ago, is when I really started collecting comic books. Now I see a ton of comics all around. I do auctions weekly on it. It's the passion that kind of fuels what I'm doing. So I think you have to find that passion, but we'll talk a little bit about that and talk about some of the things that led up to it and what our business looks like today. But first, let's talk about some sales, because we did get some decent sales this week. Not setting the world on fire, but it's a Friday. We got a weekend ahead of us, and it seems like all the sales that come in on Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. So not going to complain. We've had 8 sales today, and we'll start off with one that sold the past 2 days. I only had 1 sale yesterday and 1 sale on Wednesday. So not perfect, but I'll pop these up on the screen so that you guys can see them. The first one was actually sold a vintage 1977 Kenner Star Wars R2-D2 with the sensor scope, GMFGI Hong Kong OG Dome. So I don't know what that meant, but that was what was written on it. This is very old. It was in rough shape. If the darn thing would have popped up, I think it'd have been worth more, but the pop-up just wasn't working. So somebody, I hope, can figure that out. Sold it for $24 though, and I think it was free shipping. Yeah, definitely free shipping, but I'm sure that somebody is going to be able to take that and do some work on it. Let's see, the next day I sold is a Care Bear, a 2002 Cheer Bear 12-inch plush vintage pink rainbow belly pin heart. Didn't go for a whole lot of money, to be honest with you. I had this in my inventory for a while. I picked it up at a thrift store. I think I paid, it was a quarter day, I'm almost positive it was quarter day, and so I ended up paying a quarter for it, which wasn't too bad, so I'm not going to complain, because I ended up getting $9.99 for it, and that one went out with, I think, $5.99 or $6.99 shipping. I'd have to go look. So that actually wasn't too bad of a sale. Like I said, it'd been sitting in there for a while. I think that might have been the full price even. So, which it wasn't worth a whole lot. So we'll start with what sold today now. First thing that came out this morning, I think it was this morning, maybe last night, can't remember. But anyway, I sold a Carolina Panthers hat. Now this hat, it's nothing special about it. It does have some bling on it. Looks like the lettering is blinged. I took it's been in my inventory for a while. It is a new hat. Honestly, you can see the tags on it. It just would not sell. I thought for sure it would sell. It's a 920 new era hat. Beautiful hat, just wouldn't sell. So I ended up taking $6.99 for it. I literally only paid $1 for it. So I took $6.99 and it gets $4.99 shipping. So that'll head out. All right, let's see, what else? Next thing that sold. Next thing that sold has been in inventory for probably, let's see. It's been in the inventory, I kid you not, since August of 22. Forgot it was in there, to be honest with you. My daughter used to sell a lot of jewelry, and she picked up a bunch of these little designer earrings. I don't remember where we got them at. It was Market, I think. We were at Market in January in Atlanta, because my wife buys for her gift stores. And we picked up a bunch of jewelry. And I thought, well, we'll try it. We'll see if they sell. It's been in the inventory since August of 22. Kind of forgot it was there. This ended up though selling for $12.34. It'll get free shipping, but that's not going to cost much to ship. So I'm kind of glad it's gone. Now, I'm still selling some of these adult magazines. So 2 more sold today. This one right here is March 2006. Got an interview with Kanye West and Jessica Alba on the front. So anyway, kind of happy those things are finally starting to sell still. And I'm still running a heck of a sale on them. So anybody's looking for them, please come in. I'll make a great deal. While we're at it, we'll show the other one. This one is 1990. I'm sorry, that one sold for $2.88 and $7.99 shipping. So anyway, and this one also sold for $2.88 and it's $7.99 shipping. But this is from August 1990, and you got Baywatch star Erica Eleniak on the front. So anyway, fun stuff. And the Girls of Canada and Larry King. I don't know, good stuff. All right. Anyway, next. Another one of the plush buy that I made, the big Pokemon plush buy. And again, still tickled that these are selling. This is a little guy, he's cute. This is a Pokemon Center Nigdoran male sitting cuties plush 6-inch soft toy. It is official Nintendo, and it is very, very cute, guys. So anyway, he's in great shape. But sold for $24.99, and that will go out with free shipping. Now, free shipping is still something that I am considering doing some thoughts about, guys, because I have, I'm still not convinced that it's the best thing. I'm seeing sales on a lot of stuff that I sell with free shipping, that they're getting more with paid shipping. So, you know, I kind of think maybe the free shipping thing that that eBay really tries to push, it may be coming to at least, you know, I don't know, maybe not saying coming to a head, but I kind of feel like shoppers are becoming more and more savvy. They're looking up stuff to get the best price, and they're not really looking just to get free shipping. I think there's a certain generation of people, the Amazon generation, that basically says, oh, everything's got to be free. Maybe, I don't know. But I'm re-evaluating all this right now because, you know, I'm selling these Playboys and they're selling like crazy. And I had free shipping on them before and they didn't sell at all. And the prices are relatively the same. Actually, they were a little bit cheaper than some of them are right now. So I don't know, you know, it could be that, it could be something, but it is something I'm reviewing, and I'm definitely going to review. Did sell another hat though. Again, these still kind of are bread and butter. Every once in a while we get a lot of hats, we get some, but this one right here is a Tito's handmade vodka, Austin, Texas strap back hat, trucker hat. It's got, it's like a mesh back. It's kind of a cool looking hat, but it's definitely a cool patch on the front. Sold for $18, and all my hats go out with $4.99 shipping, so they do ship. Last but not least, picked this up at a garage sale, and this is a tailor-made Spider Tour putter head cover. It's used pre-owned. I literally paid, I think I paid 50 cents for it, to be honest with you. It says $1, but I know I didn't pay $1 for this. Probably got it with a bunch of other stuff, but it has Spider on the front of it, and it's in fairly decent shape, but it's a great head cover. I got it, sold it for $17.99, and that went out with free shipping. So all told, this week we've got about $260 in sales so far, and 14 items. So like I said, 8 going out today. Those won't take too long to ship later today, so we'll get those out before the weekend. I had a couple auctions last night, and like I said, if you guys haven't gone to Dibbit yet, go to dibdit.com and use BreezeFlips, and you can get $5 off your first $10 purchase. I'm going to say that every time, because one of these days somebody's going to come over there and say, I found you on your YouTube channel and I'm here now. I'm like, ha. Anyway, but we had a couple auctions this week. I sold an entire short box full of comics out of 2 auctions. So very, very happy. Moving some comics, which is what I want to do. I'm probably going to put a whole bunch on wholesale here pretty soon on commons and big lots. Just because I want to make some space. I'm keeping the really good ones. I'll continue to sell those in our auctions, but I continue to find them. And that's kind of what I wanted to talk about, you know, get into this part about the passion a little bit about what you sell. And I'll be honest with you, there wasn't anything that I was passionate about when I first started this. It was anything we found in the house that we just didn't have a use for anymore. I basically went out and you know, we sold it. So, and we made money. We made good money off of it. And we started seeing all these different things that we're selling. and they were selling in the house, and we thought, well, this is great, collectibles, this is great Disney stuff, we knew this. So we were learning, right? And the whole time that I was doing this, I was watching other resellers, which is what we do. You know, we watch other resellers, we try to learn and see what they do. We try to learn from them, see some of the things that they're selling. Now, I will say this, don't just go out and duplicate what these other resellers are finding and doing, because it may not work for you in your area. But, you know, as I went out there and started doing this, I thought hats were going to be my passion, because I thought, well, I can store hats. I mean, at one point we had 1,000 hats, right? It's just that there's too much work to being done in the hats. And I lost my passion for it very quickly. As I started doing hats, I started realizing that it was a lot of work. Photographing a hat is not that bad. It's 1 picture, 2 pictures. I mean, I usually get it done in 8 to 10 pictures. You can get the whole thing. Plus, if there's any defects or anything, maybe 12 pictures. It takes me literally a few minutes just to do 1 hat. It's not a big deal, right? But it was just to the point where cleaning the hat, you know, trying to deal with it. We did get returns on some hats because they get it and they go, oh, it doesn't fit. I mean, unless your head's like this big. It's an adjustable hat. I would think that it would fit, but maybe people do. I don't know. But anyway, I got a few of them sent back, you know, and it's like, that's not a big deal to me. Returns are not a big deal. We don't have that many, but it was just something that I just really didn't have a passion for. I was just kind of losing it for that. So that's when we started selling it off and kind of selling them off. And I quit buying hats. I just quit buying them. Not that they aren't good deals still, and every once in a while I'd find good deals, but like I was buying hats in bulk, like 100 at a time or 50 at a time, or, you know, however I could find them in big bulk. And then I would pull the best ones out of there, you know, put the other ones in a bin and just sit there on them. So I literally threw away about 150 hats. Now, you move along here and then we start looking for kind of where we're at. And a couple of years ago, like I said, a little over 2 years ago, I was just kind of at the point where I was like, I don't know. I'm just like going through a routine, right? Every day, photograph, list, photograph, list, photograph. And it was just stuff we find. It wasn't like anything that was like, oh, this is great. I mean, I loved it when you found a digital camera. That was fun, right? I don't mind testing them and checking them and getting batteries, or maybe buying a piece to make that, you know, buying another battery or buying a cord to make it more valuable when you sell it. That never bothered me. I enjoyed that. I mean, we made some really good flips on those, right? So, and I will pick them up all the time. I'll also pick up calculators. I'll pick up all that stuff, especially graphing calculators. I will pick up all that stuff. I'm still going to sell it, but there wasn't anything I was like really excited about. For a while, I got excited about Funkos. There's a bunch of them up on my shelf. You probably can't see them up there. I got excited about Funkos, but then kind of started to realize that Funkos are our generation's Beanie Babies, or this generation's Beanie Babies. They're not going to, you know, there's some good value in some of them. There's some of them that sold for very well. I have sold some that have done well. I've got a couple of them that are signed that are probably $100 that are for sale. So they will eventually sell. But, you know, it's like anything. It takes that special buyer. You just got to find it. And they were cool because I kind of had fun. I thought, well, that's kind of cool. But up to this point, I've really never collected anything. You see my shelf back here now, and you see all these little collectibles and all this stuff. That was never me. And I didn't really have anything that I was passionate about. So I'll be honest with you. I saw, you know, it's kind of the pivoting point that was in my business. I saw somebody buying some comics and selling them. And I thought, whoa, that'd be kind of cool. I could get behind comics. Comics are kind of cool. I remember them as a kid. I didn't really read a lot of comics, but I knew of them. I read through some. I've been around people that had comics. So I thought that was kind of cool. So I picked up some comics. And then as I started looking at them, I started going, man, I really love cover art. And some of this cover art was fantastic, especially the older ones, the way it was drawn and the colors. So I actually started collecting comics for the covers and started really looking at them. So I didn't think at that time it was going to turn into a passion, but over time it kind of did, because my personality is one such where I don't ever just do something halfway. I got to go 100%. When I did the pop figures, I bought 100 of them, 150 of them probably. I just kept buying them. Even though they weren't absolutely the best deals that you can get, I was doing that. Well, I did the same thing with comics. I started buying comics. I started looking for cover art that I liked. I didn't have any particular run that I was interested in, but I started kind of feeling like a little bit excited about it, right? I started getting excited about comics. Then I got my first graded comic, and I thought, well, that was kind of cool. I think it was Gwen Smash. I think it was the reverse, I can't remember which one it is. It was the reverse background, so it was kind of like a negative of it. But anyway, I got that one. I picked it up fairly reasonable, but it was a graded comic, and I thought my first graded comic. So anyway, as I started kind of going through this and started looking, I started realizing, okay, I do like this. And more so, excuse me, I started realizing that I also like to read them. I was starting to get into it. So I was really kind of getting into some of the Spider-Man, especially love Deadpool and Wolverine. I do like some of those. I started getting into some of the more obscure ones. I started looking at some of the DC. I started collecting some runs that I thought were fun, like Batman Adventures. I'm still collecting the Howard Duck runs right now. Almost got all those. Devil Dinosaur, I'm trying to get all those. So just a lot of different ones that I started kind of collecting and started getting excited about. Plus Secret Wars, and I've got a lot of them. I got some graded, and I've got most of them. I need number 8. So I have a friend that has 3 of them, so I'm going to see if I can trade them out something. But I started getting passionate about comics, and it was just exciting because I was reading about them and learning about them, and then I started buying them, right? So now this is where you can get yourself in trouble too. You have to be really careful. You have to buy smart, right? Unfortunately, when you're buying comics, especially when you're buying a big bundle of comics, sometimes you can buy singles, and I do find them here and there, singles, either at a comic book store or a garage sale or a flea market or something. I will find some, and I'll buy those individually, right? But most of the time, it's buying a bulk, right? So I'll buy 150 comics, but I only want 25 of them, right? So I'm sitting on about, probably about 8,000 comics right now, and only about 2,500 of them are really worth anything to me. So I'm working on bulk selling them. I'm also putting them in our booth, and we're doing pretty good with them at our booth too. So that's just kind of fun. But I found that passion, right? It was something that kind of fuels me a little bit more. It actually something I can get behind and I feel better about. I don't mind looking at comic books. I don't mind doing the photography on the comic books. I actually enjoy it because I do a front cover shot, and I do a 4-corner shot so you can see everything. I flip it over, do a back shot, and then 4-corner, open it up to the first page and get their information page, open it up to the center so they can see what the center and the pages look like. And it's fun because when I do that, it's kind of not, it's no brainer for me to flip through them and actually see, oh, what's in this comic. So anyway, I kind of found that passion, and I was just having fun with it. And I think that's what you got to do, right? I mean, maybe you're passionate about electronics. Maybe you're passionate about CDs, DVDs. Maybe it's something along that line. Whatever it is you're passionate about doesn't have to be the only thing that you sell. But as you start getting passionate about something, you become a little bit better in that niche, right? You become a little bit stronger. I got the same way with video games. I can honestly say video games are also something that I love to sell. I love finding video games, and I like selling them. Excuse me, I have a cold. I'm fighting. It sucks. So anyway, must have caught that last week and all the moving around. But I find video games, and I do the same thing. So I don't mind photographing them and looking them up either. But comics have been my passion. So I like selling video games. I play some, but I like selling them. And I like buying the comics, reading the comics, selling the comics. I like to get it to people too. That it makes me feel good that I'm getting a comic to somebody that was maybe it's something important in their life. Maybe it's part of their collection. I don't know. It's just kind of fun. So I enjoy selling comics. So that became my passion. It's kind of what fuels me when like I said, when I go out there and I'm looking for stuff. I used to never even see a comic out in the wild, but now for some reason I find them all the time. So, and like I'm always on the search for like really good comics, like really good ones I can grade and stuff. I've got about 75 comics I got to send off for grading. I'll probably do that here very shortly. But listen, I mean, that's kind of what got us to where we're at today. I just got thinking about the whole thing about what fuels your business. And I'll tell you, what my business looks like today. It's still not a walk in the park. It's still not the easiest thing. And I do have slow days, and we have great days. There's some days I'll sell a lot of comics. There's some days I sell a lot of hats. Some days I still sell a lot of games. I mean, it really depends. But we've got everything in our store. I mean, we see it today. We've got earrings. We've got action figures. Wait, did I even say this one? I didn't tell you this one, guys. Sorry. I sold this too. Yeah, it's a vintage Kenner Star Wars TIE Fighter pilot action figure. Yeah, that one sold too. I forgot that. It said 8 items. I only went through 7 of them. But this one sold for $19.99, and he's got free shipping. But this is vintage, very old. I think this is 1983. Yeah, very old. Anyway, picked this up with a whole bunch of Star Wars stuff. But yeah, so that kind of stuff too, I enjoy selling as well. I mean, it's kind of fun to find these. I think that's part of the treasure hunt, right? The pop culture stuff, and maybe that's why I really enjoy being on Dibbed It as well. It's because it's so pop culture driven. We just have fun. I mean, I enjoy selling these kind of things. I enjoy researching them and finding them, but I think that's what you have to do. You kind of got to find your niche. That doesn't mean that's the only thing you sell. Again, I sell golf equipment and plush, right? So it's not the only thing you sell, but it can be, something that you are maybe proud of or things that you really like, and you just becomes more fun when you're out there searching for it. And it gives you something that you can kind of get behind. And that's what I did with the comics. That's what I've done with video games and other stuff. So, and after you do it for a while, you actually become an expert in that niche. I mean, you have to do it a lot, but as much research as I've done on comics, compared to what I knew 2 years ago, which was zero, I know a lot more. I still don't know a lot as much as some of the friends I have that can just, every time I put a book up for sale, he comes out and tells me about the book. I'm like, I love that. So, and I learn every time they say something too. So anyway, I think that, it has become part of my brand. It has become kind of who I am. Like right now, if you go on Dibbed It, it's kind of funny. I was on a couple auctions this week. I'll probably be on another one this afternoon that I was going to sit in and watch because he's selling comics. But as soon as I bid on a comic, everybody bids on the comic. And I'm not saying that's because I know, but it's kind of funny now because I built that reputation where they go, oh, Breeze is bidding on it, so it must be a good one. Maybe I just wanted it. So then I'm fighting for a comic that I just want. I'm probably overpaying for it. So I just kind of pull out and not get it, or I know I'll find it at a later time. But I think it's kind of funny because I've become that quote unquote, expert, even though I'm really not an expert, but people feel like I am because I've been known now as the comic book guy on Dibbed It. So it's kind of a fun feeling. There's a lot of people that sell comics on there, but I kind of have a reputation now. So, and I enjoy it. But that's kind of, like I said, I think you got to find your passion. I mean, if you don't, I feel like it just becomes mundane in a job and you'll burn out very, very quickly. And nobody wants to burn out. I mean, I know a lot of people that have said, I'm quitting, I'm done, I can't deal with it anymore. It's either because, they work too much or they're worried about the rates or the fees and all that stuff. But that's the kind of stuff that just doesn't bother me because I know that if I price it right, it sells. If I get sold, I'm going to pay a fee, sure. But if I was going to have a brick and mortar store, it's more expensive. I mean, so I'd rather do it this way. And I'm at home and I don't have to worry about going out and, going to a store every day and opening it up and doing anything. So anyway, I just feel like this is where I wanted to be. But to find something that you really like to get behind, I think that's what the biggest thing is. So I don't know if this hits home for you. I hope maybe you could tell me, get in the comment and tell me, what are you passionate about, or what changed your business? I would love to know what changed your business. What did you finally find that you love to sell, or what do you love to sell that makes you want to do this every day? And share that with us. Share that with other people because it's fun to talk about these things. But I hope it hit home for you. But I know that before this change, I was really, my reselling business was more like a job. And, I felt like sometimes I had to suffer through it. Nobody wants to suffer through it. I suffer through enough through my job as it is. But now my business feels more like who I am. It's really an extension of who I am. And I think that the long-term success in this business and the happiness in this business is finding like a magic that helps you. It's not going to be finding the magic algorithm or like sourcing secret. That's really not going to be the biggest thing. I think it's just what's going to inspire you, what's going to make you feel like that you want to get up and go do this again. What makes you get up at 5:30 on a Saturday morning to go out and start hitting garage sales at 6:30 or 7 o'clock? What is it going to keep you going every day? So yeah, definitely share that with you. But I think when you find your passion, it'll keep you learning, it'll keep you growing, it'll keep you excited to wake up and do it all over again the next day. So, don't just build a business here. You got to, build a business that you couldn't imagine quitting, right? So if you're thinking about quitting right now, why? Why are you thinking about quitting? And what could you change to make you not want to quit? What would it be? So anyway, I appreciate you watching. I hope your weekend is great. I hope you guys keep hunting for more treasures. I hope you find what makes you passionate about this job, about this business, and it keeps you going. I'm David, BreezeFlippers. We'll see you.
Flip it, ship it, wear Breeze